Okay, let's just dive right in. We are a full year into this whole agentic AI revolution, and the dust is finally starting to settle. So the big question is, what have we actually learned? Well, based on a recent McKinsey analysis of over 50 real-world projects, we're going to boil it all down to the 6 essential lessons for any leader out there trying to make this stuff actually work. And honestly, that quote pretty much says it all. The promise of, unmatched productivity, it's absolutely there. But getting there, it is not some simple plug-and-play operation. No way. It is hard work, and it's going to require a completely new way of thinking. And this brings us to what you could call the agentic AI paradox. On one side, you've got this incredible transformative promise. But on the other, the reality for so many companies is a real struggle to see any value. In fact, and this is wild, some are actually going backwards, rehiring people for jobs that these agents just failed to do. So what on earth is going on here? All right, before we go any further, let's make sure we're all on the same page. When we say agentic AI, we're not just talking about something that spits out text or makes a picture. We're talking about a system that can actually act. It can go out and execute these complex, multi-step jobs across a bunch of different systems. The kind of stuff that until now, a person would have had to sit there and do manually. So, our first 2 lessons are all about strategy. And they're big ones. It's time to stop obsessing over the agent itself and start focusing on the entire workflow. And maybe even more important, you have got to know when an agent isn't the right tool for the job in the first place. Here's the absolute key. Don't just try to cram an AI agent into an old, clunky process. You have to blow it up and completely reimagine the whole workflow. First, you've got to map out how work gets done right now, and I mean really find the pain points for your users. Only then can you start designing a new system that brings in agents at just the right moments to actually make things better. And that's where you see the agent's real job. In a complicated process like handling insurance claims, the agent isn't doing everything. It's more like the orchestrator, the glue that holds it all together. It's accessing different tools, pulling in data from other systems, and basically unifying the entire workflow to get to a final result with way less human effort. And that forces you to make a smart choice, right? You wouldn't use a sledgehammer to crack a nut. If you have a repetitive, rule-based task, simple automation is probably better, cheaper, and more reliable. But for tasks that need judgment and synthesis with all sorts of messy, variable inputs, that's where an AI agent really shines. The goal here is to get past that agent or nothing mindset. Okay, let's get into our next set of lessons, which are all about execution. Because even if you nail the strategy, you still have to build something that people will actually trust and use. And that means fighting like crazy against AI slop with intense, rigorous evaluation and verifying every single step of the process. Oh, we have all seen this. The demo looks absolutely incredible. Mind-blowing even. But then real users get their hands on it, and the outputs are just low-quality junk. That's AI slop, and it is the fastest way to completely destroy trust. Once your users decide a tool's unreliable, forget it. Adoption just tanks, and your whole investment is pretty much toast. So to fight that, you need a pretty radical shift in your thinking. This quote from a business leader in the report just nails it. Stop thinking about this like you're deploying software. Start thinking about it like you're hiring a new employee. That agent needs a clear job description, it needs to be trained, and it needs constant performance reviews to get better at its job. So what does a performance review for an AI even look like? Well, you're not just asking, hey, did it work? You're measuring really specific things. What's its success rate on this task? How often is it hallucinating? Is the data it's pulling accurate? You have to rigorously test and score its performance, just like you would with any person on your team. And that performance management, it never stops. There is no launch and leave here. You can't just flip the switch and walk away. The teams that are actually succeeding are building monitoring and verification into every single step. That way, when a mistake happens, and trust me, it will, you can see exactly where things went wrong and fix it right away. Okay, let's get to our final 2 lessons, and these are all about how to scale this stuff for the long haul. This is where we see just how important smart architecture is, making the best use case a reuse case, and really understanding the new and totally essential role that humans are going to play in all this. It is a massive, massive mistake to build a totally unique custom agent for every single task. It's just not scalable. So many tasks share common actions, right? Like ingesting data, or searching a database. The really smart move is to build these as reusable components that you can then plug into dozens of different workflows. And the payoff for doing this, it is enormous. By creating a central platform of these reusable agent parts, you can get rid of 30 to 50% of the non-essential repetitive development work. I mean, think about that. That is a huge gain in speed and efficiency. So where do people fit into this new world? Well, it's not about replacing them, it's about elevating them. As agents take over the repetitive automation, humans get to move up to higher value roles, providing that critical oversight and verification, exercising real judgment on tough calls, and handling all the weird, complex edge cases that agents just can't figure out. And that collaboration between humans and agents is absolutely everything. One insurance firm achieved a staggering 95% user acceptance rate. How'd they do it? They obsessed over the user interface. They built simple, interactive tools that made it easy and even enjoyable for their employees to validate the AI's work. They built a system people actually wanted to use. So, after all that, what's the one thing you really need to take away from all this? Well, it all boils down to one fundamental, critical shift in how you think about this technology. This is it. This is not just another piece of software you install and forget about. Agentic AI is a brand new capability that you have to actively grow and nurture inside your organization. It means changing workflows, developing new skills, and constantly training and evaluating, just like you would with your most valuable human talent. And that really leaves us with one final thought. If you frame it this way, not as buying a tool, but as hiring and developing a new kind of employee, it changes your entire approach. So the real question for you isn't whether you're ready to buy AI. It's, are you ready to hire for it? Are you ready to manage it?